Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to Focus Africa series today. My name is Success Bright, your host, and today is October 10, 2020, and I appreciate your presence in this studio today. Thank you so much for joining me all around Africa. And my guest today is Mr. Ibrahim Kazeem Oladeji. I hosted him some time ago on this series. It was very explosive, so we decided that we're going to have him back in the studio. I want to welcome you, especially Mr. Oladeji, to the studio today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited to be back here once again. Of course, I look up to having a very good time on the program.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you too?
I'm okay. I'm doing very fine. All right. So I want to say a special thank you to Business Day Media for powering this section. Thank you so much for bringing the stories of the successful people around Africa to all the viewers we have. We thank you for this platform and for all you do to make impact and to bring the news people can trust out to the mainstream. Thank you so much, Business Day, and all our viewers from around Africa. So we don't have a lot of time in the studio today. We're going to go right into the discussion to continue from where we stopped last time. But just before I get the questions going and also take the questions from YouTube, from other channels, I'd like to give you the profile of my guest once again. I'm going to make it even shorter than it was last time because by now I'm sure that all of you know Mr. Deji already. All right, Mr. Ibrahim Kazeem Oladeji holds an MBA and project management professional certificate. He also holds a CISA and COVID-5 certificate. He is an IT consultant with over a decade experience leading teams and working on audacious projects. He is a member of the John Maxwell team. Mr. Deji is also a project management coach and has taught over 15,000 people from companies like KPMG, ADNOC, Vodacom, NLNG. Yeah. So today we're going to be having some more detailed discussions around project management and how project management is helping organizations, helping even at the personal level, and all there is to know about project management. So basically, we go back to the basis. You understand what this is about, and then we move forward to how this can improve your life and improve your business. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready, Mr. Success. I'm ready. I'm with you.
So in a very simple term, what is project management? For a
Okay.
layman and for a professional, what is project management?
Okay. Project management is a generic skill. Whatever you're doing, you're a business person, you're a programmer, you consult, you in construction, in medical work. It's a generic skill. We are humans. We engage in different activities. So project management is that generic skill that enables you to be able to drive success in the direction of achieving whatever
Before,
goal you have set out. Set something.
before you continue, sir, can you up your volume so that we can hear you better?
Okay, okay. Let me check my mic. Is it a mic problem? No. Okay. Uh, how about now? Is it a bit better?
A lot better.
Go on.
A lot better. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. So I said project management is a generic skill. Whatever you're doing, construction, medical, IT, computing, programming, blah, blah, whatever you're doing, the whole idea of project management is to enhance your capacity to deliver, enhance your capacity to lead, coordinate, to be able to manage endeavors and be able to achieve results. It enhances your capacity to be able to build teams, manage people, drive them in the direction of achieving a particular set goal that you aimed at the beginning of whatever you are trying to work on. So I said it earlier, I said it's a generic skill, meaning that it cuts across everywhere. We are humans. we come together to do several things. And there needs to be like a central coordinating system. Project management is that set of skills or tools, techniques, and methodologies that you can use to increase the probability of achieving success in lots and lots of things you do. So there's a whole lot of stuff under project management. When we say project management, we're referring to some hard skills and some soft skills. So it's all of those things come together to enhance your capacity to be able to succeed. So primarily, project management is whatever is that set or is that framework that you can use to increase your probability of achieving success on your endeavors. And let me go back to explaining what a project is. Essentially, a project is anything you are doing that you have a particular goal. You have set a goal that I want to achieve something. And then it's bound. It's not like ongoing. It's not like forever. You want to start at some point. You want to end at some point. That's a project already. So, for example, you want to set out at this point out to, okay, I want to be able to achieve X, Y, Z in the next 6 months. That's a project. Okay, so what kind of tools and techniques do you need to deploy? What skill set do you need? What exactly do you need? What do you need to start doing? How do you carry these things out? So that's the bird's eye view summary of what project management is. Yeah, thank you.
So basically, there are two ways to learn about things. It's either you're learning from experience or you're learning from school to get a certificate and stuff like that. I personally, let me put myself in a lot of people's shoes. So I already manage things here and there. I manage my businesses even for others without having this project management certificate from an institution. And why do I really need to learn this? Why do I need that certificate?
Interesting. You have asked a very interesting question. You see, a lot of us, in fact, all of us, we all work on projects in one form or the other. In fact, all of us, we all work on projects in one form or the other. What separates the professionals from those who are not professionals is the approach. While we get some form of results in what we do, even without getting professional project management education, we get some form of results in what we do. But the question is, what kind of results? How efficient are we? How are we able to get the right results? Let me give you an example. A lot of us today, when we work towards a particular target, hitting that target means being successful. Beautiful. But the definition of success is far more encompassing than achieving what you set out to achieve. So it's not just about the what. The why is important. The when is important. The how is important. You want to ensure you achieve success, the right success. You want to get the right results at optimal use of resources, carrying the right set of people along, managing your uncertainties, ensuring that all the bits and pieces of those things are managed properly. A lot of project management rests on you being able to plan adequately. Planning sits at the core of a lot of whether you'll be able to succeed or not. Now, a lot of us use, I call it common sense or gut feeling to manage projects. Gut feeling is not bad in itself. We all have to leverage on whatever guts or common sense we have to get things done. But it is very important that we should train the guts. It's very important that we guide our intuition to be able to increase probability of success. You see, there's a concept of leveraging on the shoulder of giants. Every one of us here can decide to sit down in our own offices, in our houses, and all of that to run things to the best of our mental capacity. That's one approach. It's good, yes, but the problem there is that you will be learning almost entirely from experience, losing time, losing money, and probably, of course, maybe even losing integrity and losing some more things. Why can't you decide to now improve your capacity to manage by leveraging on established principles? You see, like by people from my village, you see, there's really not new thing under the surface of the or under the sun, you know. So You are here, you want to manage a project. People have been managing projects since God knows, since the beginning of time. And interestingly, experts all around the world, they've been coming together to ask questions. You in Canada, what works for you? You in the US, what works for you? You in Australia, you in Tanzania, you here, what works for you? And then they come together and they now create a generic framework to serve as a springboard for you and I to be able to manage without starting from scratch. Someone can pick these established tools and techniques, and you're able to already have some sufficient knowledge of, being able to succeed, rather than having to build your repertoire from scratch of failing and getting it right, failing and getting it right. You can probably read stories, read how people have done it all around the world. These people have come together. They have created systems, frameworks, methodologies, established tools and techniques. They've written so much about how to do this thing. There are many frameworks around. The biggest amongst them is the PMI. The PMI, Project Management Institute, that's the biggest and most prestigious organization that is in charge of project management all over the world. So the whole idea of leveraging on these frameworks is that it makes you achieve success faster. It increases the probability that you would even achieve success or not. You have the option of leveraging on them, or you probably want to just go and start learning and failing and learning and failing. You could just read, understand, okay, this is how these people do their things. Not because you have to copy what you read in the books, hook, line, and sinker. But of course, it's because you want to have something to adapt from, something to leverage upon, and then tweak in the direction of what works contextually right for your circumstance. So that's the benefit there. You don't want to start from scratch. You want to leverage on principles, standards that have been tested world round. So we are not saying that if you do it that way, you compulsorily, automatically you will succeed. No. What we are saying is it increases your probability of achieving success when you follow the well laid out path that have been directed by the professionals all over the world. Follow their path, learn their system, and then you can now modify from there. So to some extent, there's a higher probability that you succeed than you wanting to now try your own full-blown trial and error from scratch. Yeah, I think that answers the question.
Okay, Mr. DG. We're still struggling a bit with your audio, so you might want to look at that. But there's a concern I have. I don't know if it's because of people's level of exposure to what project management is, or whatever the case may be. But there is this issue of people looking at project management from the context of big budget stuffs, and or possibly looking at it from it has to do with construction, large construction companies, as it were, things that are very, very new. Maybe you're talking about oil and gas. That's why you need project management. As somebody who has over the years taught about 15,000 people, have you come across people thinking this way? How were you able to explain what project management really is and why it should, everybody should get a knowledge of it, even if it's for personal use?
Beautiful, beautiful. I like that question. You see, it's a very common misconception among these numerous misconceptions of project management to think that it only applies, it's only relevant in the context of super huge projects. Well, that statement has some elements of being truthful, but it's actually not the whole truth. The reality here is that when you are dealing with small things, it is very easy for you to get away with mediocrity. When you are dealing with small things, it is very easy for you to get away with mediocrity. And that is the reason why those who do big things, they understand the implication of leaving managing the project up to chance. They will not want to do that. So that's why you realize that those who do big things usually are the ones championing and pushing project management. But that does not mean that even people who have small budget projects or project with a small scope or project with a short duration, that does not mean that they also don't have a lot to learn, a lot to gain from using project management. Look at it this way. That's the same justification for some people thinking that only big businesses should use project management and not small businesses. The question I put up to them all the time is, between big businesses and small businesses, which of them actually have higher constraints in terms of availability of resources? Which of them actually has huger issues when it comes to being able to, deploy big bucks to manage stuffs? Some businesses can lose $1 billion and boom, they'll barely shake. Some businesses lose 1 million and boom, that's the end of the project. So that's the more reason why the efficiency, the effectiveness of managing endeavors that we want to achieve, small businesses, small projects need these things even more than big businesses. While I said earlier that yes, even if they don't use these things, they could get away with mediocrity, but they have a higher need to avoid failure. They have a higher need to conserve resources. They have a higher need to ensure they limit the wastage that they have in their systems. So whatever you're doing, whether you are big or you are small, there is always a way in which you can tailor project management to what you do. Project management is so huge. There are tons and tons of tools and techniques you can use. See project management as, I use this analogy a lot. I say project management as like the armory of a conventional army, let's say the US Army or the Nigerian Army. You'd agree with me that they have different forms of ammunition. Even bullets, they have different sizes of bullets. Armored vehicles, different sizes. They have intercontinental ballistic missile. They have bazooka. They have blah, 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 blah. So project management has different kinds of stuff. So it is now for you to use your intuition to be able to understand that, okay, what I want to do at this moment, which of the numerous tools and techniques are contextually relevant to what I want to do. So for example, if the army is called in to go and quell a riot, you don't expect that they will be using intercontinental ballistic missile. They probably would go, maybe they won't even use guns at all, hopefully. You understand? Maybe they go with, what do you call it? Maybe, I don't know, whatever they go with. So what I'm saying in essence is that even when you are dealing with small projects, small businesses, you have tools and techniques that you could leverage upon. So I think that's a very important one there. The next question you asked is construction. A lot of times, people get to think of project management in the direction of just the construction industry. That's a very, very erroneous thinking. But the issue is, there are different styles of project management. You have the predictive, and then you have the agile, the more flexible one. Now, construction industry is one of those industries that, to some extent, it is a lot easier to plan in advance. For example, you want to construct a road from Lagos to Ibadan or something. Right from day one, you want to have all what you need planned. You want to have your diagrams, you have your drawings, have your this, have your that. So that's why a lot of people think of it in that direction, because that is one area in which planning is so predictable, kind of. But for some other areas like IT and some other things you do, you really want to plan on the go. You want to plan as you are moving, because a lot of things are so unclear. So that's one of those things that project management is just for the construction industry. Whatever you are doing, your personal life, you could project manage so many things between you and your wife, between you and your spouse. I saw an image yesterday, one of my big madam sent it to me about how you could use project management when you are preparing coffee. You can imagine. A project is basically anything you are doing, you have a specific target, you are working towards something, and then it's bound. It's not like open-ended. You start at some point, you end at some point, and then you want to use tools and techniques to ensure you achieve success. That's quite generic. Whatever you are doing, for example, the way the editor is planning for this program, it's a project because it's unique. I'm not on your program every day. So the way you probably plan for me could be different from the way you plan for some other people. So if there's some uniqueness to the output of what you are doing here, it's a project. You want to ensure success. You want to ensure your stakeholders are carried along. You want to ensure that there's uncertainties. I'm sure you are there. You probably have 2 or 3 different internet connections, so that when one fumbles, you move to the next. When one fumbles, you move to the next. That's part of planning for uncertainty. So the reality here is that we all have, it's just like they are saying there's gold somewhere, okay, go and pick. And then people who have a just spoon, they go there and pick spoon size of gold. If you have a big truck, go and pick truck size of gold. If you can go and, so the size of what you want to do will determine the amount of the gems of the world of project management that you would pick and apply to what you do. There are different areas of project management. So risk, communication, stakeholder, costs, schedule, quality. Do all these things matter only in construction? Of course, you agree with me that that is not correct. Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Deji, I've read some of your thoughts in some places, in articles and stuff like that. One of the things you always keep saying about project management is that project management is a potential superpower. I mean, that's huge. You're referring to project management as a potential superpower. Now, I want to ask you, in what context? Is it in the context of an individual or an organization?
That is an interesting question. You see, project management is is a potential superpower. Potential superpower. It's just like somebody who has a sword. You could either use it as a good samurai, blah, blah, blah fighter, or you don't use it. It has the potential to radically improve you as a person and whatever you're doing as an organization for the career. What do I mean? Let me give you, okay, some weeks ago, we ran a survey. We asked some people to tell us the top 3 skills they think would radically improve the way they do their things, improve their career, improve their capacity to deliver. And 111 people submitted. They gave us three skill sets that they feel that would improve the way they do their things. So in total, we got like 360 something skill sets. So we did our analysis. Almost 60% of the various things people listed are actually parts of the hard and soft skills that you get along the way when you are mastering project management. So it's a huge world. The more of the world you conquer, the better for you. And there's so much. Let me tell you something else. There is the World Economic Forum. They commissioned a report some years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago, about what they regard to be the most important skills you need to survive, to thrive in the new information age, this generation. Because you agree with me that the knowledge that brought us to this point is not the knowledge that will take us to the next point. A lot of what we've been learning, what we've been doing before now, would probably not be super relevant going forward in its current form. So much we need to change, so much we need to be, a lot of our careers will probably even have to get modified or get lost. Even some of the conventional careers, doctor, lawyers, and all these things, artificial intelligence would come and, of course, change the way we approach it. So what I'm saying is, now they came up with that report to say, what are the key business skills we need to be able to survive going forward? They mentioned some of them. I don't have the list off my head now. Negotiation, communication. They mentioned 10 of them. And all of the 10 are essentially part of the soft skills that you necessarily need to develop and work upon when you are a project manager. Project management is like a huge land that has different pockets of skill sets that you need to develop. Coaching, mentoring, negotiation, conflict management, political awareness, cultural awareness, leadership. Yes, that's a very big one. Leadership, influencing, many more soft skills that you need to necessarily master to be able to be a project manager. And then we now have quite a number of hard skills now in terms of cost management, in terms of being able to manage a schedule, in terms of being able to manage uncertainty, core risk management. course, stakeholder management, people management skills. That's a very fundamental one for so many things. When you manage these things, it puts you ahead of the flock. It makes you shine in darkness, simply because the vast majority of people are simply just flowing with the tide. They are simply just surviving, just doing what they do, they know how to do best. In the last session, I talked about the Chuluteka Bridge, in which, don't let me go over the story again. That's just an example of a kind of metaphor that could explain when people just want to do things the way they normally do it, and not read trends, understand how they can be relevant in the generation to come. So yes, I regard project management to be a potential superpower, because what we mean by superpower here is something that gives you an edge over others, something that gives you a fundamental, a significant boost to be able to excel, to be able to elevate yourself above other people. The tools and techniques that we have under project management that have been verified, validated by lots of professionals all over the world, and is consistently, continuously updated. Like, for example, right now we have the Pinbox 6. The Pinbox 6 will be decommissioned in barely 2 months' time. We'll be having Pinbox 7. The professionals all around the world keep seeking to update this thing, to say, okay, what are the skill sets you need to be able to excel? What are the skill sets you need to be able to deliver effectively, both from the project side, the human side, the emotion side, and of course, in the direction of achieving success.
Okay, Mr. Deji, thank you for doing justice to that. As we move forward on this series today, I'd like to ask you, this very specific question. Permit me to say that there's a lot of noise around project management, a lot of buzz actually. Yeah. I use the word noise because almost everybody is talking about project management, even when we don't really understand what it is. That's why we have you here today to tell us what it is actually and why it is beneficial to us. So I'm already working. Will studying, learning about project management affect my current job? Will it give me more chances, more career chances? And what actually is the significance of the PMP certificate?
Beautiful. Yes. I just mentioned it earlier that project management has tons and tons of tools and techniques to enhance what you do. Think of it this way. Would you regard a career as being enhanced if you are able to improve your capacity to lead? If you are able to improve your capacity to manage things? If you are able to improve your capacity to facilitate, your capacity to be able to drive results, to be able to set out well, right, on whatever you're trying to do, and follow through, managing all your stakeholders, the people, the team members, your senior stakeholders, maybe the sponsor, your vendors, managing everybody, not just anyhow, but leveraging on established tools and techniques to be able to do all these things, okay? Then you're able to manage your uncertainties, you're able to manage cost very well, to be able to ensure you work towards the project. And then you can manage resources effectively. And then you also have a lot of the necessary soft skills. You keep growing, keep increasing your capacity to have these soft skills, leadership skills, people management and leadership. Those two are regarded as one of the most important skills you need to develop going forward. So you improve yourself in all of these things. Do you think such a person would be able to be a better person in the career? I think that the answer is definitely yes. Because there's so much of chaos in the world, there's so much of noise in the world. Whoever has the capacity to declutter and drive change, such a person will easily stand out. Whoever has the capacity to be able to see through the noise and push an initiative from start to finish, achieving customer satisfaction, will definitely be able to be ahead of the pack. Whoever is able to be the leader that people love, you're able to rally around people and be able to push them, motivate them, push them in the direction of bringing the best out of them. Definitely, if you have this kind of skill set, you'll be the one to handle the toughest of jobs because they believe you can deliver. You're not just somebody who is just saying stories here and there. They believe you can deliver. And the good thing is, when you use these tools and techniques, people will think you're a genius. And the reality is, it's not as if you are probably one DA, you have one special DNA here and there. You are simply trying to do things the way experts have done it. You are looking into the system to say, okay, which tool and technique fits into what I'm doing? And then you are able to modify whatever you have learned to see, okay, how best can I adapt it to what you are doing? And then that way, you, in your own local way, you are acting local, but you are leveraging on global systems, global frameworks, global methodologies being adapted to your local circumstance. And then people think you're a genius if you handle these things well. So I strongly believe and strongly champion the fact that when you do these things, it helps you, increases your capacity, it increases your profile, increases your value to wherever you are. I remember speaking with somebody, one of my past students in my project management classes. The person said in his religious organization, says in his church, the moment he learned project management, he just started seeing project management around him. Everywhere he goes, he sees, okay, this is happening here. If you're able to tweak this, and this, whatever you are doing will become will come out in a better way. And then in his church, he's saying, they've started giving him responsibilities in the church. I said, why? I said, because the way he attends to issues, the way he answers questions, the way he contributes in meetings, it makes people see that this guy has capacity to show us the way. Let him lead us. And that's exactly what the kind of comment I hear from a lot of people. In fact, I remember training somebody, there was somebody he's from the media industry, interestingly. And he said, look, even if I don't write the PMP exam, the system you have exposed me to is more than enough to immediately start growing in what I do. He said, PMP exam or no PMP exam, these are the kinds of things that he believes should be taught compulsorily in all schools. I said, why? He said, because these things directly improve what you do. Whatever you do, whichever direction, whichever sector, whatever you are doing, because it's the innate capacity to deliver that you are improving. The innate capacity to be able to declutter, to be able to decompose, to be able to drive change and work, execute, plan and execute in the right way towards achieving the right result. This is a skill set that is very important. And then the PMP exam now comes in, the PMP certification. The PMP certification, you see, the good thing about certification, I have quite a number of certifications, but I'm not a certification person per se. What I mean by that is, certification is like a confirmation of what you do, what you know. But more importantly, it is what you know that drives the change, not the appellations you have to your name. We can all sit down, do some cramming, and maybe get some certifications here and there. But more importantly, it is what you know, what you are able to do, what you can, the value, the impact you can have that drives it. But the problem with that is not everybody would have the capacity to relate with you one-on-one. Not everybody would have the opportunity to deal with what you do, to interface with you, either one-on-one or digitally or through what you write or through the videos you push out or through the projects you have done. Not everybody would be able to come across what you do. So that's where certifications come in. So certification is just a way of a third-party organization evaluating you and saying, I have evaluated this person and I can confirm that, yes, he has this competency. Please listen to him. Beautiful. That's just what it does. So it's just a way of calling attention to you. You are calling attention to yourself to say, a third party has confirmed that I am capable. So the way I see it is, certification gets you to the door, but competency takes you in. Certification takes you to the door. Because the reality is, those who have a door, when I say door, I mean opportunity. They cannot listen to everybody. There is no firm, there is no awarding organization that has the capacity to listen to everybody. It's not possible. They necessarily need to use some form of filtering to ensure that some pre-selected people come around, and then from those pre-selected people, they now do some further selection. So certification is just a way of saying, okay, out of the 1,000, let's pick 20. Let's pick this. And then they use certification to do some first level screening. But it is what you can do, it's what you know that actually gets you the whatever you are trying to do. If it's a job, if it's a project, if it's just personal value, capacity, the knowledge, being able to deliver, then it is, of course, what you know, what you can do, that is. So, summarily, the PMP certification is like, I call it like a red passport. Of course, we all know that the normal passport for people like us now is green now. That's the normal passport we all have. And then the diplomats get to have another kind of passport, maybe in another color and kind of stuff like that. So, it's something that stands you apart. It's something that is like a bell, something standing behind you and saying, "Bagang, bagang, this person is a certified project manager, he's a leader. Oh, if you have opportunity, give it to him. Whatever you want to do, respect him more. He has read, he understands this, he has passed. Passing PMP is like a life mission." It's like, yes, it's a life mission. A lot of people graduate from one of the toughest certification exams. So it's just like having a bell behind you shouting, listen to him, he has value, he can add to your life, he can impact on your project. Don't deal with mediocres, he is loaded, he has capacity to add value to you. And then they now ask you, oh, all right, Mr. Bell, can you actually add value to me? Then what you know now starts to speak. That's it.
All right, Mr. Deji, this is an interesting perspective you are bringing on this discussion, and that's why we always love to have you in the studio. As we round up, there are a few more things we would love to discuss, but time is not really our friend. But I want to ask you this particular question about your unique approach. You're a teacher, and part of the reasons why we invite people like you to Focus Africa series is that we want to share the stories of your challenges as well as your successes. You know, it's not every successful people today we see today have had a bend on their way. They've had some challenges. Most times we don't like to talk about the challenges because we focus on the good aspect of it, but nothing good they say comes easy. You are a teacher, you are making impact, you're teaching a lot of people, and they say knowledge is power. And actually what you understand, you can utilize. That's why a lot of people who are beginning to understand project management are making a lot of impact in the society, bringing businesses together, helping them to grow. And you've done that by teaching about 15,000 people already. So tell us, what is unique about your approach coaching people for PMP?
Okay, I can really go on and on explaining what is unique about us, but I'll just tell you 4 key.
Just take 1 minute. Just take 1 minute and summarize it. Don't go on and on. I'll have you another time.
Yes, our approach sits on 4 key cornerstones. We call it the SEEA approach. The S there stands for simplicity.
All right.
A lot of people approach project management as if it's rocket science. When you see people teaching it, you be like they are communicating in Greek, talking in a language that is difficult. You cannot understand it. I'm only doing my job. I want to teach you, blah, blah, blah. But interestingly, it's not my job. Like I told you in the last session, I don't do this full time. I run an IT firm. That's my core stuff. I do this because I enjoy it. I love it a lot. I'm so passionate about it. I actually just even finished a 2-day webinar just a few hours ago. I do this a lot. So we go out of our way to simplify. We use examples you can understand. We don't just come and start throwing all these big terminologies at you. People see project management as something that is up there in the sky, something that only people who have PhDs, people who have 500 years experience in the industry can deal with. No, project management is around you. Project management is something we all need to look at to increase our capacity to do what we do. I remember trying to tell somebody that if you understand project management, the way you deal with your spouse will be different. He said, wow. Anyway, that explanation is for another day. What I'm saying now is simplification. We try to simplify and even oversimplify. So that's the S. The E there is, we call it 360-degree engagement. You get to, the more senses you can tap into when passing knowledge, the better, the more it sinks. So we have a unique system of dealing with people when we are coaching them. We have a unique system. We want to engage you 360. We teach you from different perspectives, and we touch on you at different times of the day, doing, as in pushing information in different formats: video, audio, text, live class, video modules, blah, blah, blah. So we have so much that in short, concise points. And then we also do because of time, the other E there is evaluation, continuous evaluation. Because the PMP class is towards getting a certification, we don't keep the evaluation to the end. In fact, in our coaching sessions, you do tests every single day. We keep evaluating you. We teach you something small, we evaluate you. We teach you something small, we evaluate you. We teach you something small, we evaluate you. So that way, we're able to identify weak points fast, and then we're able to give you a tailored correction, a tailored, explanation to be able to make you a lot better. And the last one, the A there, is accountability. Accountability to me is one of the biggest. People like us, busy professionals, we are so busy that we hardly achieve a lot of things we intend to achieve because we have so much on our table. We're extremely busy. We just keep saying, I intend. And one of the things that I have seen that could help busy professionals to excel a lot of what they do is if they can have a coach who can be a partner in their progress, consistently following up on what they do. Accountability is one of the big reasons why people actually come for our trainings. Because once you come for our trainings, we are mutual partners in the program. We own your success. Because we want to shout out your testimonials. If those who know me know that I celebrate my testimonials a lot. So because we want your testimonial, we know that we want you to pass, not because we just want you to be another name on the list of our participants. We want your success. So when you join our program, we have a solid system of accountability. We follow up with you every single time. Okay, you're supposed to submit an assignment by 5 p.m. 5:05, we don't hear from you. Somebody calls you from the office. The next day, we don't hear from you. Maybe they escalate to even me having to call and follow up. You have a problem, somebody follows up. You have an assignment, you ensure you get it done. So when you have that kind of system, it works for you. People just want to be pushed. That's why people want to do great things. But maybe I don't want to call it self-discipline problem. Rather, I would call it being overwhelmed by their daily work. So if they can find someone who can stay behind them, keep pushing them, keep ensuring they keep progressing, it works well for them. And then the accountability on the other side is to say, if you fail, we own it and refund your money. Yeah, so that's a system we have been refining over the years and has given us 100% pass rate, except just one instance of a failure, 100% or near 100% pass rate. So that's what is unique about the way we do our own things.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oladeji, for coming to the studio. It's been a wonderful discussion, I must confess, and this is the reason why we decided to have you again, and I'm sure we're going to have you again in the studio. So thank you for discussing project management, a potential superpower for personal and business growth. It's been an amazing time with you. And please, how can we contact you if anybody wants to reach you for advice and stuff like that, what you do best? How can we reach out to you?
The fastest way to reach me is via LinkedIn. If you just search for Ibrahim Kazeem on LinkedIn, you will see my profile. Just send me a message. I try to check my messages there a lot. You could also send an email to info@gem4success, GEM4success.com. So if you send that mail, I could read it. But definitely it will get to me and I'll be able to respond to you. You could also call the office line 090-9957-6339. Let me take that again. 090-9957-6339. So you could use any of all these channels to reach me. Just Google my name. There are lots of things I've done online that could point you back to me, Ibrahim Kazeem. Yeah.
All right. All right, once again, thank you so much for coming. We really do appreciate your presence in the studio. And to all my viewers from across Africa, thank you so much for listening in every Saturday by 12 noon on Business Day TV on YouTube. Thank you so much. And to Business Day, we want to appreciate you for always bringing this series to our viewers across Africa. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Until this time next week, my name is Success Bright, your host. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a nice day. Thank you very much for having me. Have a nice day.